your Washington quarter could be worth thousands. Here's what to look for. Silver Washington quarters are worth way more than 25 cents. Check your change. Some rare Washington quarter errors sell for hundreds. Do you have one? In 1985, the United States Mint produced millions of Washington quarter-dollar coins, coins that most people used without a second thought for everyday purchases, slipping them into parking meters, vending machines, or change jars. But buried among these common pieces of pocket change lies something extraordinary. A small number of error coins that transformed from ordinary 25-cent pieces into collector's treasures worth a staggering fortune. These coins, with errors born from the complexities of the minting process, are now so highly sought after by numismatists and collectors that their value has skyrocketed far beyond their original face value, with certain examples reaching an incredible $48,000 to $124,000 depending on rarity, condition, and uniqueness. To understand the allure of the 1985 Washington quarter error coin, we must first appreciate the backdrop of its creation. The Washington quarter had already been a cornerstone of U.S. coinage since 1932, originally struck to honor the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. By the mid-1980s, the design had become one of the most recognizable in circulation. Washington's profile on the obverse, sculpted by John Flanagan, paired with the bold eagle on the reverse, wings spread proudly as the national bird symbolized strength and vigilance. Millions were minted every year at facilities across the country, especially in Philadelphia and Denver, making the coin one of the most heavily produced in American history. Yet, despite the advanced machinery and rigorous controls of the mint, errors sometimes slipped through. These minting anomalies, while unintentional, became prized discoveries for collectors who understand just how rare it is for flawed coins to leave the mint's presses and enter circulation. For the 1985 quarter, several varieties of errors emerged. Among the most desirable are double dies, off-center strikes, clipped planchets, and transitional anomalies. Each error tells a story of what went wrong in the minting process, offering a tangible connection to the intricacies of coin production. A double die error, for example, occurs when the hub imprints a slightly shifted duplicate image on the die, leading to coins where the lettering, date, or features of Washington's profile appear doubled. These are visually striking and immediately recognizable, which is why collectors pay such high premiums for them. An off-center strike is another fascinating error, where the blank planchet is improperly aligned during striking, leaving part of the design missing and a blank crescent of bare metal showing. The more dramatic the misalignment, the higher the value, with errors where over 50% of the design is missing considered especially rare. Then there are clipped planchets, errors where the metal blank is improperly cut before striking, leaving a coin with a curved, missing section along the edge. Such pieces are small but powerful reminders of how even the earliest steps of coin manufacturing could produce unique outcomes. Transitional errors are perhaps the most fascinating of all, as they sometimes involve the wrong metal composition being used during production, creating coins that stand apart from their contemporaries in both appearance and feel. Though less common in 1985 compared to other eras, transitional errors always command strong attention because they represent a significant deviation from the intended design and composition. When examples of the 1985 Washington quarter error surface, collectors immediately take notice, and the prices they are willing to pay reflect the deep fascination with these anomalies. While a typical 1985 quarter might fetch only its face value, error versions have been documented selling in auctions for prices ranging between $48,000 and $124,000, depending on the error type and its overall condition. For collectors, condition plays a massive role. A coin graded by professional services like PCGS or NGC with a designation of mint state or higher can demand the top end of that price range, while circulated versions, even with the same error, might fall on the lower end. But regardless, the jump in value from 25 cents to tens of thousands of dollars highlights the incredible potential of these coins. The market for error coins like the 1985 quarter thrives because they are more than just mistakes. They're artifacts of history, tangible reminders of how even the most carefully managed processes are subject to human and mechanical imperfection. Collectors often describe owning such a coin as holding a piece of numismatic mystery, one that sparks conversations, curiosity, and admiration. Auction houses have capitalized on this fascination, with bidding wars driving up prices as collectors compete to secure these elusive treasures. Stories circulate of collectors who once stumbled upon such coins in pocket change or rolls from the bank, only to later discover they were in possession of something worth life-changing amounts. These tales only fuel the excitement, motivating others to pay closer attention to the coins that pass through their hands each day. The 1985 quarter, in particular, stands out because it belongs to a transitional period in U.S. coinage, when mintage levels were high, but quality control still allowed the occasional slip to make its way out. Its errors are not only scarce but also visually compelling, the kind that immediately draw attention when spotted. Collectors know this, and they're willing to pay handsomely for the privilege of owning one. That's why a coin like this, which started as nothing more than an everyday 25-cent piece, can today command sums between $48,000 and $124,000 for anyone interested in numismatics. The story of the 1985 Washington quarter error serves as both a cautionary tale and an inspiration. It reminds us to never underestimate the small change in our pockets. Each coin carries with it a journey, from the raw metal blank to the powerful presses of the mint. And sometimes those journeys take unexpected turns that leave behind remarkable treasures. Collectors know that patience and knowledge are key, because finding one of these coins requires not just luck but also the ability to recognize what others might overlook. Ultimately, the legacy of the 1985 Washington quarter error coin lies not only in its value but in its ability to spark curiosity and wonder. Whether it's displayed in a collection, auctioned at a prestigious event, or carefully stored as an investment, it stands as proof that even the smallest mistakes can lead to extraordinary rewards. From a modest 25-cent piece to a prized collectible worth as much as $124,000, the 1985 error quarter is more than just currency. It's a testament to history, craftsmanship, and the enduring allure of the hunt for hidden treasures in everyday life. In 1994, the United States Mint continued striking Washington quarter dollars, a coin so familiar to Americans that it rarely gets a second look. For decades, the Washington quarter has been a staple in pockets, cash registers, vending machines, and toll booths across the country. People use it every day without realizing that, in certain years, hidden treasures lie among the billions minted. And for 1994, this was especially true. Among the countless coins produced, a select few slipped through the minting process with extraordinary errors. These weren't just tiny imperfections, but striking mistakes that would transform an ordinary 25-cent piece into a collector's dream worth staggering amounts of money. Some of these rare 1994 Washington quarter dollar errors have sold for anywhere between $40,000 and $105,000, proving once again that a coin intended to be just pocket change can become an incredible prize when rarity and error collide. The Washington quarter has a long and important history in U.S. coinage. First introduced in 1932 to honor the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth, it quickly became a permanent part of American money. The design of Washington's profile on the obverse became iconic, and the heraldic eagle on the reverse was familiar to generations until the 1999 state quarters program shifted the design to rotating state themes. But in 1994, the traditional eagle reverse was still being used, and the minting process was moving at full speed to keep up with demand. Billions of quarters had to be struck, and with such massive production numbers, even the slightest oversight could create remarkable mistakes. The errors of 1994 range from double die obverse and reverses to off-center strikes, broad strikes, and even missing clad layers. Each one is unique, and each tells a story of how precision gave way to imperfection in the most unexpected ways. One of the most striking types of errors from 1994 are the off-center strikes. In these coins, the entire design appears shifted, leaving part of the coin blank and the other part featuring only a portion of Washington's face or the eagle on the back. The more dramatic the off-center strike, while still retaining visible design details, the more collectors are willing to pay. Some of these off-center 1994 quarters in pristine condition have commanded breathtaking values. Another standout category are the double die errors. A double die occurs when the die used to strike the coin has been engraved improperly, causing elements of the design to appear doubled. On some 1994 quarters, details such as the motto "In God We Trust," Washington's profile, or the lettering around the coin show doubling. These doubled features are not only noticeable to trained collectors, but even casual observers can spot them once pointed out. Such obvious errors transform a simple quarter into a highly sought-after prize. Perhaps even more dramatic are the missing clad layer errors. Washington quarters struck since 1965 are not made of silver but are composed of a copper core sandwiched between layers of copper nickel. Sometimes one of those outer layers is missing, exposing the copper underneath. The result is a quarter that looks like it has an unusual reddish appearance on one side. When a 1994 quarter with this kind of error turns up, it immediately attracts collector attention because it is so visually striking and easily recognizable. These types of coins are precisely the ones that can reach values ranging from $40,000 to $105,000 depending on condition and rarity. Even more fascinating are the broad strikes and misaligned die errors from that year. A broad strike error occurs when the collar that normally holds the coin blank in place during striking malfunctions, causing the coin to expand outward. Instead of the normal, crisp rim, the coin looks stretched and larger than usual. Misaligned die errors, on the other hand, create a strange look where the obverse and reverse designs do not perfectly align with each other. These types of coins are dramatic reminders of how complex and delicate the minting process is, and they have become collector favorites because of their rarity and unusual appearance. What truly drives the value of these 1994 quarter-dollar errors into the tens of thousands is the combination of scarcity and condition. With billions of quarters minted, the chances of such glaring errors escaping the mint are slim, which makes each one a rarity. Add to that the fact that many coins enter circulation immediately and pick up scratches, wear, and damage, and you realize how few survive in top condition. Those rare examples that were either pulled from circulation early or discovered in mint sets and preserved carefully are the ones that command jaw-dropping prices. Stories of these coins at auction are always exciting. Collectors know how rare these pieces are, and when one appears, bidding competition can be fierce. A collector may start the bidding at a few thousand, but as others recognize the rarity and condition, the price quickly climbs. It's not unusual for the final hammer price to reach the upper limits of $40,000 to $105,000. For a coin that was intended to be worth just 25 cents, those numbers are astonishing. But for dedicated collectors, rarity and uniqueness outweigh the face value of the coin by far. The appeal of these error quarters also lies in the thrill of the hunt. Many people dream of finding one in pocket change or while sorting through rolls of quarters from a bank. The idea that a coin sitting unnoticed in a jar on a kitchen counter could secretly be worth tens of thousands of dollars is what keeps the excitement alive. People examine the details of their quarters more carefully, looking for anything unusual. Whether it's a strange alignment, a doubled feature, or an odd color from a missing clad layer, every coin in hand could potentially be a hidden treasure. It's also worth noting that the 1994 quarter errors are part of a larger narrative of U.S. mint mistakes. While modern technology has greatly reduced the number of significant errors, they still happen, and collectors eagerly search for them. The 1994 quarter is especially significant because it represents one of the last years before the massive state quarters program began in 1999. This makes the 1994 errors even more collectible, as they belong to the final chapter of the classic Washington quarter with the heraldic eagle reverse before designs began changing every year. Grading and authentication play a vital role in the market for these coins. Professional services like PCGS and NGC carefully examine each piece to confirm that the error is genuine and not the result of post-mint damage. Once authenticated, the coin is given a grade based on its condition, from circulated examples with heavy wear to near-perfect mint state specimens. Higher-grade coins are naturally worth more, and when a rare error combines with a high grade, the value can soar to the top of that $40,000 to $105,000 range. Collectors who own one of these coins often see them as centerpieces of their collections. They aren't just coins. They are tangible pieces of history that capture the rare moments when the mint's high standards of precision gave way to human or mechanical error. They serve as a reminder that perfection is the goal, but imperfection can sometimes be far more valuable. The irony of these coins is that the errors make them more beautiful and fascinating in the eyes of collectors. A perfectly struck 1994 quarter is common, worth only its face value. But the flawed versions, the ones that slipped past inspection, are the ones that command admiration and fortune. They are living proof that mistakes can sometimes outshine perfection. For anyone interested in collecting or just curious about what might be hiding in their change, the 1994 Washington quarter-dollar error coins are a reminder to always pay attention. That quarter sitting in a coin jar could be nothing more than 25 cents, or it could be a ticket to tens of thousands of dollars. Every coin has a story, and in the case of these rare errors, that story is one of rarity, discovery, and incredible value. In the end, the 1994 Washington quarter error coins are treasures not just because of their market price, but because they inspire wonder and curiosity. They encourage people to look closer, to appreciate the details, and to realize that even something as ordinary as a quarter can hold extraordinary secrets. And for those who are lucky enough to find or own one, the knowledge that their coin could be worth anywhere from $40,000 to $105,000 transforms what was once pocket change into a prized possession.